I'm just doing my announcements quickly. Okay. So, I'm just going to get started. I know people will be watching the VOD probably. How should I put this? For the last couple of days, Donut sent me this project, which is a implementation for a full screen shader to render the tiles. Alright, VOD viewers. Hello people in the future. If you remember, we had an issue on our Woho renderer where we get all these vertical lines. So if I change to tile by tile, you see this line here, for example. Someone at the end of the stream recommended we look into Texel Fetch, which apparently, instead of getting the center coordinate of a coordinate, it uses the bottom left. What Texel Fetch does. I can give you the exact description. I should probably put it on my main screen so I don't hurt my neck. Man, we have a lot of messages. We just search for Texel. Oh, this is from 2023. That's an old comment. Alright, I don't know where our comment went about it, but there's something about that. Maybe it was on the stream. No. I think we were just talking. Oh, here we go. Texture, the shader command, GLSL, can be used for linear interpolation because it takes the texture coordinates as a vec2. Hey Snowfoo. From 0 to 1. Whereas Texel Fetch gets a raw pixel in an IVEC from 0 to the texture size. Texel Fetch treats the pixel coordinate as the bottom left while texture considers it the middle. That was an option. But what worked apparently was this full screen shader idea. You can actually see a horizontal line here. That's something we didn't see in Woho. You can kind of see it here. The full screen shader seems to fix that. I think we'll need to read through it now again. I read it the other day, but I've kind of forgotten. I think the idea is we just draw one texture to the screen. Instead of drawing one for every single tile, we just draw one texture. Just one. And then to color it, we sample color data from the tiles that should be at that position. I'm just going to have a read through the code he sent me. Or a reread, I should say, and then see if we can understand how it works and see if we can implement it. It's quite a bit of work in this project he's written. He's made this little level generator and whatnot to show it off, which is cool. My hair looks funny today. I had a shower earlier, so it's all, yeah, like this. How you doing, Snowfee? We have tea today. I'm drinking like a flower of some kind. Cool. Might fall asleep soon, so might not interact much. That's fine. I hope you have a nice sleep. I'm just going to be reading and talking, so don't worry about it. So there's a lot of stuff we can skip over here. He generates this level into a map of some kind. He calls on it generate, which executes this lambda. You're planning on Silksonging tomorrow. Is Silksong out tomorrow? I thought it's out on like the 12th. Or is that Borderlands? I wasn't planning on playing it on release, but I guess I could. Is that why my feed is full of Hollow Knight stuff as well, by the way? Like, I know Silksong is coming out, but yeah. On the 4th. Possibly then. Why not? I don't normally play stuff on release, but would you like to watch it? I suppose? I was thinking about playing Hollow Knight recently. I didn't realize Silksong was out so soon. swear I just finished playing it. Anyway, this lambda takes in progress and a total. Sure. He has a frame buffer, which is out from the window. He calls on the renderer to clear the frame buffer, color, and depth. Creates a render pass, and he draws some text and some text, and then renders the viewport. So nothing terribly fancy. I guess this happens maybe afterwards. Progress callback. Okay, that's what this lambda is. It's in the progress callback. So whenever the progress is, whenever this lambda is executed, this gets triggered to update the generating map text. You did play Hollow Knight? I did. It was a while ago, I think. Okay, so that doesn't matter so much here. But we can have a look at the map generate function. This is in the header, interestingly. I guess it's something you crack together in a few days. It's very good. His tiles are a U8 Vec2. Very efficient. Hey, Donut. I'm just reading through your code with chat. We're doing a code review. We're doing a PR review, chat. Hello. Hang on, didn't you sub the other day? How many resubs do you get a month? I swear I've said thanks like 50 times. Am I it's been a month. I'm losing it. Oh no. We're doing a PR review, chat. No. That's okay. I'm just having a little look through to see what you've got. So you've got your type def for tile is... Would you say is using the C++, is that, would you still call that type def? That is basically what you're doing here. Aliasing or shortcutting. I'd want to say that's a type def. For some reason it gives you separate notifications for subbing and sub anniversary. Well, thanks for the 72 months, bub. PR review, pull request review. So normally in software you work on a team and you'll have your main chunk of code, and when people want to add pieces of code, they'll work on a separate alternative timeline, and when they want to merge that timeline with the main timeline, you'll want other developers to review it, check that it matches the coding style that you want up here, you know, make sure everything's not stupid, they aren't putting a Trojan in, maybe they need to do a little work here or there, a little, oh, can you fix this quickly, can you resolve this to do, whatever, and then it merges with main, and that's how you keep good code. PR reviews keeps everyone in the loop as well, because it lets you look at parts of the code base you might not normally look at, because you'll be reviewing other part for someone else. And you'll be like, oh yeah, interesting. Ah, that's how the Trojan works, okay. Anyway, this is your generate function. I'm not sure if I want to get into the weeds on it, but I at least want to see the structures that you're using. Static context for splotch tiles. Is this just some... I'm not going to read into this too much. Otherwise this will take forever. Also, I've spent all day doing this. Not this, but reading code. Your settings, you're getting stuff to set up a server soon. What kind of server? You're doing a bunch of random stuff. You're generating your splotches per progress. This is cute. So your tile, you have a uint8. What was it? A vec2 of uint8s. So having a vector 2 of uint8s. It generates the map by splotching tiles in a circle a bunch of times. By splotching, do you mean like this? Like the spray paint? The Microsoft Paint spray paint tool. Is that what splotching is? Is splotching a real thing? You might have seen if you zoom out far enough. Let's have a look. This is the generation, the progress. I like this progress update thing, by the way. This is cool. If I zoom out far enough. Oh, you're right. Yeah, it's like a splotch. Yeah, I wondered why it was circle. You thought it sounded funny. I like it. It shows that you got a bit of humor in there somewhere. That's cool. That's a really interesting way to generate some sort of natural randomness. I like it. Try zooming out really far. No, I'm streaming. You want OBS to crash? Let's not do that. Unless you put like a joke in. Did you put in like an Easter egg? Okay. Anyway, this is what the rendering does. He generates somewhere, somehow, for whatever reason, and he calls this set tile function, which calls get indices on the position, says at this chunk, set the tile at this position and chunk. So that's pretty similar to what we have in Woho, right? If not the same. I should have a look. You have your chunk struct right here. What's going on here? Got a function at the top, and then you've got a variable under it. What's happening? I guess tiles is only used in here. So it holds onto an array of tiles, which are just uint8ts. That part's pretty much identical. This part isn't though, right? Or it is. I don't fully remember our implementation. Did we just have a very, very long array for a chunk? I thought we were using an unordered map. Or what? I don't remember. You did it in 2D instead of 3D. That's fine. Okay, let's go back. Wow. Yeah, okay, whatever. Hit me back. Really, the draw function is the part one should be interested in. The chunk map is a bit further down. I'll leave this bit to last because I think this is the bit we need to really read through, this full screen shader. Let's have a look. You have a reload shaders thing. Full screen shader equals full screen shader. That's interesting. So I can add shader compilation to Woho, so people have to wait 26 minutes to play every time they launch. That's awesome. I guess you could save the shaders, right? Although the game's not going to be that fancy. We're doing a matrix server, Docker containers for custom search engines and web pages, Jellyfin and SEC storage. Well, that's cool. I didn't realize you were such a boffin. That's exciting, Snoopy. By the way, I heard today that apparently Windows Subsystem for Linux, WSL, can be pronounced as Weasel. I just wanted to let you know that. I will be calling it Weasel from now on, and I'll be saying, oh, my Weasel died. I need to restart my Weasel. Weasel broke. What version of Weasel do you have? Are you using Ubuntu latest on your Weasel? You're shy, but you're a small dork. You're a huge dork. Don't get over yourself. Only nerds allowed here. You're going to call it Ferret. You just have to be the contrarian, don't you? It already does that with all the built-in shaders every time you start the game. Ooh. The driver has a cache, not as possible. Let's see. Get tile. I think this is close enough. We don't need to read this too much. You have a path to your frags. I saw these over here somewhere. Chunk size, tile size, visible tiles. Oh, do you just not render it if it's above that number? What's the Weasel thing? WSL, which is Windows Subsystem for Linux. Quite a common tool to use on Windows if you want to do development. WSL, you can apparently pronounce Weasel. So whenever you're using Windows Subsystem for Linux, you could say I'm using Weasel. That's all. Just something to think about. It's important. That is cute. I don't know how true it is, but I immediately believe my colleague. And I will take it. Oh good, you can't hear the tea sipping. I'm just looking at OBS. Like calling sequel. Yeah. Sequel. I love this song. Dude, I fucking love Demetri. This is a 9.5 hour long YouTube video and I'm currently 5 hours through it. Just from the last few times we've randomly listened to Demetri all albums. I should crack out my Toho Lossless Music Collection. I re-downloaded that a few months ago, but I don't remember where I put it. Maybe on my old PC. I also have... Oh, I don't have it on me. I also have the newest album on CD. I have a CD player now too, so I can actually play it on VLC. You haven't used Windows in a while, you're trying to start learning languages properly now. Goedemorgen. Vanavond, etc. Sorry, this is going to take a while if I keep getting distracted. Tile index. Fine. We can skim this. Get tile, set tile, normal stuff. Combined hash. This is that interesting thing you sent me, right? So you have this chunk indices hash, where the operator, you're doing an operator override here. How does this work exactly? Is it if you call on chunk indices hash with an IVEC2, it'll override that operator and return whatever combined hash wants, which is, what was this, a bitwise XOR? I'm not very good at my shifting. My bit shifting needs to be improved. Standard hash T's, this thing. Is this normal to do T and then TS for your Vararg in the template? Yeah, it's adapted from the OG implementation of hash combined in Boost, which is based on some old paper. Yeah, I found out that C++ either has or is getting Future, which was from Boost. Because we were talking about how structured concurrency would have actually made a lot of sense at work with some issues they were running into. At least a fewer hash collisions than just the damn XOR you were doing before. That's awesome. I was looking into getting some proper proper academic literature so I can learn some more foundational pieces of knowledge. Do you have any recommendations? I got some from my architect about some books to read. He said, like, it doesn't really matter which C++ book I get. Oh, hello, Jay. Not now. YouTube just started playing Fixing GW's Worst Primaris Space Marines. He said that I can just grab, like, whatever one I want, basically. It'll still all have the basic fundamentals. It doesn't really matter if I read up on the newest, latest, greatest, but whatever. Boost futures have been since 11. Really? Damn. Clean coding C++, C++1, and then just reading CPP reference. I mentioned that you use CPP reference all the time, and he said, yeah, that's a really good idea. So, props to that, Donut. You're an inspiration. Hope you know that. Where do you buy programming books? Do you need to buy programming books? It depends how you learn. I would like to have one because it's been like, I use CPP reference, but I don't read through the whole page in its entirety every single time I use it, and then look at all the it's in the table at the bottom, the like related parts, and then read through those as well. I normally just sort of skim the bit I need and implement it immediately. I should be using it more. CPP is C++, yeah. How else are you going to look up the argument order to standard retain for the millionth time? It's a good question. Also, I know this makes sense, but apparently they guarantee that standard variant and standard optional are heapless, which makes sense. You can calculate at compile time how much memory those would take up, but I like to know, I like that I found out that they're guaranteed apparently, or basically guaranteed. Because variant uses up the largest amount of space. I don't know how you word this sentence, but you have a number of things that are variant. The largest one is the size of the variant, right? So it can fill, it's the biggest, it makes the biggest bucket possible, so it can fit everything. They'd be useless otherwise. Yeah, but it's nice to know that it's guaranteed, right? Different implementations could do it differently for whatever reason. They could have just been lazily implemented. What's a good programming book? I don't know. I haven't found any yet. I'll let you know once I've read one. Just the classic, big old, giant C++ book that you could see at your library is probably a good start. If you're interested. Zero cost abstractions are pretty high priority for the committee. That's good. Okay. God, this tea is good. So you got this idea from Boost. That's kind of sick. Should I be looking at Boost more often? File system, full screen shader. This tea's really good. That's dangerous. This flower I'm drinking. It's not chrysanthemum, but I don't know what it is. They look a bit like daisies. Tea. It's like a Chinese tea. It's got like, yeah, they basically look like daisies or something. It's like a black bud about the size of a very big pea with like these sort of yellow petals, very, very delicate petals. They're good. Okay, like, sorry, I can't get over how stupid my hair looks after showering. Rosebud frozen peas. Are you trying to like summon a demon? Okay, anyway, this is map. Here's player. I don't know how interesting this is going to be for us. You move the player around. It's very cool. Mix. There's mix. It's a GLM thing which returns a compute mix scaler. Old position, new position, tick interpolation alpha. Oh, it's a color mix or what? What's this? Get display position? What does this do? Tick interpolation alpha? Full of country goodness and green penis. Excuse me, sir? Excuse me, sir? Excuse me? I'm so sorry, but what? That's most of it actually, I guess. Let's read this display function. So, display. Got frame buffer, clear the frame buffer, render pass. Did you hear scary things? I said penis. No, I haven't. I don't know that reference. You get the player's position. I still don't fully understand this. The ratio of the last processed tick's importance compared to the tick processed before it. Is it like if it's been a while since there's been a tick, it's like this is an important one? Oh, good tune, dude! I love all of these songs so much. All right, hope you can hear it, and I also hope it's not too loud. If it is, let me know. I can lower it a bit. So you draw map. I'm not watching a YouTube video while I'm working. You'll have to give me the Cliff's notes. Map.draw. Homework for later. Let's see what map had again. Where are you storing these files? Are they in private? Whatever. You're not wearing your glass. Can you read out your code for me? Map.draw render pass player position vec2 zoom scale main font tile set texture render resolution map drawing mode draw text render pass vec2 render resolution divided by 2.x 16.of color white format position neat shot 7.2.f whatever. Map.draw. What are you drawing here? Tile set texture. Sorry, I need to. What are you passing in here? What does draw function take? Player position. Okay. Zoom scale, font, tile set texture. I see they were passing this in, but I can't see what this is doing. What does this do? I guess this is the main function. Sorry, I'll read this in a second. I'm losing my mind. So this is the important bit. And then draws some debug text, some text, and then renders. Great. We'll read that in a second. We're saving our bit for last. In resize, you're doing the same sort of thing we're doing here, I think. Although I don't know what the difference between camera and full camera is quite yet. I'm guessing that camera is the playable space, like you're using in this scope. And full camera is the whole screen, including the black borders. It's a 19-year-old upload. Hang on. Oh, fuck. This just opened in a window with, like, fucking no ad block. So, do you hear this Dutch advert playing?
Geen verrassingen meer. Zo voorspelbaar.
Zo voorspelbaar. Frisdrank. You guys like Dutch adverts?
Oh, wow.
I've had adblock for so long.
Yes, rosebud frozen peas.
Hey, hang on, who's this voice actor?
Green penis. Wait, that's terrible. I quit.
I have seen
Just a
this.
handful for the road. Oh, what luck. There's a French fry stuck in my beard.
This guy did voice acting for Maurice LaMarche. He did voice acting in Futurama, right? What character did he play? That's good. I've seen that. When did I see this? 2006. I guess it's an old clip. I must have seen it. Hey, Rob. Wow. 19-year-old upload. I'll watch that shit. Something from 2006? It's almost like My Day at a Zoo. It's classic. It's a certified classic. You got that, Buster. How you doing, Rob? I'm about to beat the shit out of Donut's code. Alright. Let's get to the fucking meat and potatoes of this shit. Full screen shader. Focus, chat. I'll even zoom in for you so you can read it. You're doing fine. That's good. How am I? I'm fine. Midweek. Not that bleak. The weather's shit though. The Netherlands is so depressing. It was summer like a week ago, and now it's like grey. Anyway, you have a Vec 2 of map data offset in tiles, where you floor the view offset in tiles, which is the view offset divided by the tile size. The view offset is the player's position, which I'm hoping is the center of the screen at this point. There's some coordinates somewhere. Multiplied by tile size. So scaled up. Minus view size and a half. This is the center of the screen, right? Because just player position would be the bottom left. So yeah, view offset is the center, I think, of where the viewport should be. Didn't find the crypto miner. Wink wink. I hope you can hear me over this fucking amazing music. Good lord. Center of the screen, view size in tiles is the view size divided by the tile size. Wow, so this will be whatever, 15 by 20 or whatever, some small number. Assuming you're zoomed in, I guess. So full screen shader, we get the map data offset in tiles by flooring the view offset in tiles. So this is a Vec 2 float. Why are we flooring? I guess we'll find out. Map data offset in tiles. We'll work this out. Map data size in tiles is an integer vector. I'm guessing that means both of them being defaulted to 1. So an iVec 2. Plus the maximum between 0 and ceiling. View size divided by tile size. I'm guessing ceiling gives you some large... Returns a value equal to the nearest integer that is greater than or equal to x. Okay, so it's the ceiling. It's the opposite of floor. The lesser known ceiling. You really don't see it as much, huh? Map data basically covers the visible grid of tiles that covers the screen, which is uploaded to the GPU every frame. That makes complete sense. So I guess... Why are we flooring it? To draw a little bit more than what's on the screen? Question mark? Holy shit. This is a song that makes you want to get like a lighter and like slowly do this. Just me? This is one of my favorite bands, chat. I wish I could find more of their music on CDs. Map data width. That's where the visible tiles start in world space. Let me double check this. View offset in tiles is the view offset divided by tile size. Where the view offset is, I thought, was the center of the view stage. Or is the player position already in the center and this gives you the bottom left? It's the bottom left. Okay, that makes a lot more sense then. So player position is already assumed to be the center. We're going add minus half. Take us down. I use my webcam as the view. This makes sense. So we're getting the floor to get the very bottom here, and then the ceiling to get the very top right here. It's fine. Map data width. Map data size in tiles. So it's this number, width and height. Fine. It's just some sugar. So if it's Mucho tiles though. If map data width is larger than the maximum tile size x or the map data height dot y, and we draw some text. Is that what you're meant to get if you zoom out really far? I think my OBS would crash if I zoomed out that far. Oh, actually, hang on. Max visible tiles was this thing, right? So if you're trying to render more than like 16 trillion, it gives you some Spanish. Okay. That's muchas gracias, señor. Mi hablo woolen sleevelet. Oh, they really freaked out a teacher in school. You love trying to read understand code to get your brains feel like fries. Well, I was hoping I was explaining it pretty well. We're getting a bunch of numbers to represent where we're drawing a texture to the screen, right? So this code we're looking at, I guess you joined a little late. We're trying to render our tiles. Instead of rendering every tile individually, like we're currently doing, we're trying to render just one texture and sample the tile data to color that texture, right? The idea being that this solves the texture bleed between tries, because we're just drawing one texture. We're drawing one rectangle to the screen. There's no lines. There's no way they can draw a line. Explaining it well, but trying to read it yourself doesn't seem to work. Well, if Donut has this open source, maybe you could read through it as well. And maybe it's a little easier if you have your own time to read through it. Or maybe it's difficult to read it through the screen. But then you'd have to... I don't know if this is already on your GitHub, but then I guess you might have to do a little prettying up. It's not uploaded, but you might include it as an example in the Donut 3. Maybe if you'll ask him very nicely, he'll send you a zip file on Discord. Although that's not on me to suggest. That's me giving him extra work. Anyway, if the width is less than the map data width and the height is less than the height, static assert. Size of tile is size of UN8. More public 2. What are you doing here? What does this mean? What is map data texture? It's just a texture. And we'll just get width there. Get the width and textures of the 2D image. And where are we assigning this? We're not assigning it yet. Oh, so if there's nothing in there yet, I guess. So if this is empty. Or if it's smaller than... I don't know why this is different necessarily to checking if it's empty. I'll start at 0, 0. How is this code different to being empty? What's the value in saying, oh, there's a 15 by 15 textures stored in here, but we need it to be 16 by 16? Question mark. Assert that size of tile is the same size as a UN8T times 2. Good to check. It's only empty the first time. That's true, but why would we want to regenerate the texture? I guess I need to keep reading. Tile format is R8G8 unorm. Each texel comprises 2 normalized 8-bit integer components. Red, green, hide initializer. That can't be right. Hello. The Real Verse Gaming. That's quite the username. Hello. That needs to be bigger to fit all the visible tiles. Okay. So you're passing in this again. What else does texture take? It doesn't let me know. We've got a bit ceiling of width and height. I guess that's width and height. And then this is the settings. So we're not using linear filtering or MIP mapping, and it's not a repeating texture. Fine. But we haven't put anything in the texture yet, right? You're just assigning an empty texture. to the size. We're basically making like a canvas, right? That's the correct doc format. Hide initializer. Oh, 2 8-bit unsigned integer components, red green. I guess it's R8G8. Unnorm is... I don't know what unnorm means. What does unnorm mean? Unsigned normalized. That makes sense. Normalized. So if it's like a minus 20, it becomes 20? Or what? It must. It's a 0 to 255, but it gets converted to a 0-1 float in the shader. Okay. What's the difference between C# and C++? They're very different languages. C++ is from the 70s. No. Well, it was conceived in the 70s. It's, I guess, a little newer than that. C# was developed by Microsoft to counter Java, I guess, and it was designed for creating Windows applications and UIs, and I guess you can do some database stuff with C#. They're quite different use cases. C#, I guess, is a lot more... They're both high-level languages, but it's a lot more high-level, I guess. It's had stuff like structured concurrency since like 2011, whereas C++, they're trying. I guess you said they have futures since C++ 11, but I don't... It's not a first-class citizen, though. Also, like, ++ is only, like, 2 lines, and then 2 lines, whereas sharp is, like, 2 lines and 2 lines, right? You need to get your laundry. Go for it, bud. So, we create basically like an empty canvas here to fill the whole screen. We have this staging buffer where we're assigning it default tile. It's default tile 2.0, whatever that is. Map staging buffer is just a vector of tiles, so I guess we're filling up this with all our tile information in a moment. And assign, what do you do? Is this pre-allocating memory? I'm guessing that's resizing the vector. Question mark. That would be my guesstimate. We're basically saying pre-allocate the memory for the width and the height. A bunch of 2 times 8. Do an 8. Makes sense. I guess we're reallocating it with default tile. Fine. Well, actually, maybe it's okay that you stay until you've read through this part. Sure. I guess assign isn't pre-allocating memory. It's literally setting every single element to this size with this value. Right? Yeah, once I've read through this, I'll have a look and see if I can implement it in Wano. Tile min is the offset in tiles. Tile max is the min plus the map data in tiles. Down 1. Fine. I'm guessing this is... Map data offset in tiles. Was this the bottom left, right? Yeah. So it's the bottom left towards the top right. -1 tile. Assign will allocate if it's not already big enough. Yeah, and with vectors it doubles in size every time you hit the maximum, right? So I guess this vector could actually be quite a bit bigger. You could have a lot of memory allocated. A lot more than necessary. Does it have to be a vector? Not necessarily doubles, but it does grow geometrically. Oh, I thought it was a double. I guess not. I did think it doubled. Which I suppose could be problematic if you hit half your memory size. Many implementations do double, a lot do 1.5. Right on. I guess it doesn't massively matter. Can you... does the vector have like a trim function or something? Or are you just forced to have all that empty space? And like, I will continue to read through it, but what's the value here of using a vector instead of a regular old array? Do we in place in it, or do we directly assign? It has shrink to fit. Do you do shrink to fit in a bit? Maybe it doesn't matter. I guess I've become like a little allergic to... Oh, I'm trying to become allergic to heat, I should say. The value of using vector is that you'd have to allocate again the next time you zoom out. Ah, yeah, I guess between loops of the game, it's not going to delete that. You're not reinstantiating the vector, are you? You're just reassigning it. This is only constructed at file to, oh, you know, launch, whatever. Fine. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. And then I guess because it's a vector, you can keep using the same thing. This is a member variable. The memory stays between frames. Yeah, sorry. I thought this was only being used in this scope. That makes a lot of sense then. And then having it vector lets you resize it, which is actually a use case here. Hello, ready? Ahoy. We're just reading through some code. Yeah. Chunk indices, what does this do? It returns... Based on your position, which chunk you're in? Or which chunks you're in? Question mark? Position.x is less than 0. You return -1, minus size. Actually, how does this work? Divided by chunk size, yeah. It's the same hack we did to floor divide and int. Yeah, something was tickling my memory. That was this weird inline conditional. Fine. Hi, Rob. You at least have the TF2 mod, a digital drawing, and a video to edit as projects to work on. For some reason, you decided to work on making a dawn animation for a GIF today. Around 1.5 hours. I guess it's good to have multiple projects, but yeah, that's a lot of jumping. It's fine to take a break, though. How's the progress on the mod going? I remember the idea being pretty cool. Okay, anyway, so we are trying to create an iterator in chunks at this indice. Oh, it's it.second in this case. Oh, I guess it's the value of find. Otherwise, is chunk empty? It's a chunk pointer. So it is chunks.find indices as long as it doesn't reach the end. What is this? Oh, it's just the normal find. So if we can't find it, then I'm guessing that this pointer remains pointing to this empty chunk lad over here. Const chunk empty chunk. Start it is the pair of first key, second value. Yeah, I've seen this pattern. We just try to we do a find on chunks. Chunks in this case was the vector, right? It was an unordered map. Okay, pretty normal. So if we find it, then we assign chunk actually to point towards the chunk that we found. That's fine. And then we iterate. Where's tile coming from? Tile y and tile x. Where do you come from? Tile min.y, tile y. Okay, so we've decided where on screen the tiles should be. And we iterate through all these tiles. We create a vector to store that just for, I guess, save us a little hassle. And then we use get chunk indices and get position in chunk, which were functions on map or chunk. Where's this? Oh, they're just free functions in map. Yeah, they're in map. In the file, at least. They're not part of a... Oh, they are part of a class. Okay, actually. And that was this stuff here. So we get chunk indices gets you within a chunk, gets you the chunk. Get position in chunks gets you where within that chunk this tile is. Fine. Okay, so we get the chunk, we get where in the chunk they are. If what could this possibly return? IVEC2. So if it's not equal to chunk indices in this case is unlikely. Chunk indices is the chunk in the very bottom left. What does this unlikely mean? Is this just to stop compiler warnings? You experimented between storing an empty chunk to use by default or setting the chunk pointer to null and doing an if check on every tile, and you think reading it unconditionally was slightly faster. Okay. I think we value speed here, so that seems fair. So what is chunk indices in this case? Sorry, remind me. If it's not the central chunk, then? Question mark? Tile min? No, it's tile min is the tile at the very bottom left, right? Down here. So we're saying that if the current index of the current tile isn't there, then chunk indices is tile chunk indices. Fine, we're now dealing with this chunk here. And then we try to look within the chunks for that. Assuming the chunk exists, then we have a chunk. Great. So we've actually located the real chunk. Unlikely hints to the optimizer, the branch is more likely to be skipped. It doesn't make a difference. They can probably get rid of it. Okay. Compiler hints are fun. So we're down here. We've got this chunk or nothing. Tile is chunk get tile. I'm guessing empty chunk. This will just return nothing. What does this return? How does this work actually? There's nothing in this index. Does get tile index just return? Actually, how does that work? The whole point is the condition just to check we've crossed over a chunk border. Okay. You think it's safe to show code like this? No, I think it's going to cause a fire. Probably. Especially if I'm using it. And so update the chunk pointer. Okay. Fine. So if we're in... Okay. Anyway, we're basically getting the data from the map of this file. And then with our giant canvas, we're setting... No, this isn't the giant canvas. We're trying to get the index of where in the giant canvas we want to be, which is sort of doing that jumping thing that you spoke about before, where we get the y and then we multiply it by the width and the x. It just gives it goes from a 1D to a 2D position, right? Or I guess vice versa, 2D to a 1D position. Fine. A jump. I don't remember what you called this. And that's the buffer position that we're in, and we're saying what is in here is this tile. The tile is it's 2 UN8Ts. Oh, actually, it's an unsigned char. But yeah, it's two UN8s. Since you don't end up using the if thing you mentioned, this could be a simplified to a clear plus reserve instead of a sign, and then push back instead of calculating the index. Hold that thought for a minute and let me read the rest of this just quickly. So once we've iterated through all tiles that should be on the screen, we paste image 2D onto the map data texture, which is the giant canvas, right? Size is the width and height of the map. Pixel format RG is odd to me. Just red-green. Was this one of your little hacks that you talked about, or what? I'll read that again in a moment. Describes the data type of pixel components. So we're doing this unsigned 8-bit. Each pixel component is an 8-bit signed integer, so we can have 255 colors per pixel, I guess? Question mark? We're passing in the data that we just filled there, and then whatever 0, 0 here is X and Y. Okay. Note that the image being pasted is just tile data. Yeah. I mean, we're basically rasterizing, right? Sort of? That's what you've created here? You're pasting a bunch of data? No, it's not what you're doing. You have a large texture and you're filling it with pixels. Is that not what rasterizing is in this case? There aren't pixels yet. So image 2D is just pure data. It's what should be drawn, just tile data. Okay. So it's more like an instruction set. Paste instructions on how to later make an image 2D if you'd like, sort of thing. Question mark. And then using that information, we ask the render pass, this is the tile type that should be here on the grid. Okay. I guess the name is irrelevant here. What would you otherwise use paste image 2D for? It's more like paste image data 2D. Right? Because image to me makes it feel like it should be a raster. Like it should be pixel data, but it's not, right? Images are just data. That's true. But the same can be said for raster images. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing some standard. Very likely. And then I like this. You configure a 3D model. Is that purely so you have all these extra options to pass in for the shader? Or what? Because a 3D renderer is the same as a 2D renderer, but with more info, right? You're still just drawing pixels on the screen at the end of the day. A 2D screen. Question mark. It's a bit of a simplification, but I think that's somewhat correct. You have a Z. X, Y, and a Z. Wow. Alright, fancy. Anyway, the shader is this full screen shader we'll look at in a moment. Model is I guess you have some default model called quad. Oh. It's not a cube, it's a quad. A quadrilateral? Like just a four-sided square? A right fucking rectangle? It's a billboard? Question mark? And then this is the funny bit you're doing, right? So you're passing in the tile set texture as the diffuse map, and the map data texture as the normal map, purely so you can use them within the shader without having to add extra arguments, right? I think that's right. Nib Donut 2 was more limited than you remembered. You couldn't add a second extra parameter. Damn. To use shader 3D instead and hijack the normal data. Yes, it's a square from 1 to -1. -1 to 1. Quad. Translate by 1 and scale by 0.5 to make it from 0 to 1 instead. Sick. Okay. Transformation. Ah, is that this thing? You scale it towards the render resolution, and you translate it to fit on the screen. Is that what you mean? Transformation matrix to apply every vertex position of the model in world space. So you have some square, and you're saying like stretch to fit the screen. Yeah? Texture offset is the view offset in tiles. Sure. I guess we're actually using the real coordinates here, so we want to shift it back. Scale is the view size in tiles. Okay. Sure. Tint color is the map data offset in tiles. Oh, that's odd. And the specular is the tile size. This will have to read it. I don't think this... You're not actually using... You were talking about this as well. Tint color and specular are not... They're being overused. Overruled. Overridden, whatever. So, map full screen frag has a bunch of inputs, a bunch of local variables, one output, which is a vector pool output color. Great. Tile set texture. This is fun. So this hash divine, I guess. Is it still called a preprocessor directive, or would you call it something else here? Because this is basically it's just a hash define, right? You're saying replace diffuse map with, like, we're using tile set texture as diffuse map. Yeah, it's still the GLSL preprocessor. Okay. You hijack those parameters because they were already there and not useful for drawing tiles. What about when I want to start using a normal map on my tiles, buddy? I guess I could maybe write something custom for that. In this case, I think it doesn't matter. This, by the way, could be you can add more parameters. Yeah. This shader, by the way, you could do any shader calculations you want on, right? So you could also fuck around with the colors and stuff and make everything dodgy. An interesting thought. You could add like a vignette, for example, based on like the distance from the center of the screen. Sure, go wild. Hell yeah, buddy. Alright. So we're getting the fragment position in tiles is the input, the texture coordinates. Map data offset in tiles is the tint color. Fine. Map data offset in tiles. Okay. Tile size is the specular factor. Okay. Fragment tile, floor of the position. Fine. Offset is the position in tiles minus the fragment tile. Fine. The fragment tile in map data is the tile minus the data offset. Okay. Tile set tile indices is texel fetch from the map data texture. Fragment tile in map data. So is this getting the information from the atlas? Right? Based on this. Question mark. Is this decompiled from a game or a framework or something? This is a piece of code Donut sent me, who's in Twitch chat. You're on YouTube, he's in Twitch chat. We're trying to solve an issue in my game where we're rendering a lot of tiles and there's like bleeding between them. So instead of rendering loads of individual tiles, he's come up with this sample project to render one texture to the screen and sample color data, basically, tile data, instead of drawing loads and loads and loads of tiles. And that way there's no scene, because there's only one rectangle over the whole screen. You need to get your laundry, right? I think I understand this roughly. Could I write this in 2 days? Probably not. But I think I understand it. We're probably focused on the coding. What's up, Rob? Did I miss something? Oh, you posted your explanation on the mod progress. Sorry, I completely missed you. You're right. So far, any progress on TF2 mod has been you installing the SDK with someone helping out, looking at the source code, realizing you don't understand most of it, looking for a C++ tutorial for about an hour and then stopping because you're tired. That's fair. Sounds like what happened to you in 2014 when you wanted to make a source mod. You still haven't made one. C++ is hard. C++ is very hard. If you want to learn a bit more C++, Rob, there's nothing wrong with just looking up some like free courses if you feel like you'd like to have some structured learning. Just follow some guides or some websites. I'm sure there's a lot of... There should be a plethora of free information out there. This language is very old. It's older than most of the people using it. Tea's good, chat. Good for the soul. Anyway, enough of this. VS Code. Point at the other VS Code. Wow. This is Woho Project. Wow. Gaming. So yeah, we're trying to now replace this inefficient renderer that causes these lines to appear on the screen. You see them, right? With this shader that Donut just sent. Okay, and now I think I understand it. I feel less bad about shamelessly copy and pasting his work. That would be a good t-shirt. Yeah, I guess shift in mine is crouch rather than sprint. If you want to be base, Deb, learn C first. Yeah, learning C is not a bad idea. It's a lot smaller, if that makes sense. It's a lot less strict. You can make some horrible, insecure code if you're unsure. Did you poke where you shouldn't? It's got a very limited. I don't know how to describe it. Palette. So it can be a nice way to start if you just want to learn the super basics. I would stick to C++. It's nice. We have classes. We have structs. Well, you have structs, but we have classes, which are it's just private structs. But we have classes. We have inheritance. Ooh. Smart pointers. I don't know enough about C. Do you guys have smart pointers by now? Does someone add one of those, lads? Maybe. Automatic reference counting. I don't know. I don't know enough about C. Anywho, this is our code, the Woho code. This is the game we're making. I'm going to have a look. I think I already copied in his frag. The other time I was doing this. So it's here. Right? This is the shader we were looking at earlier. Most importantly, we just need to go to our... But yeah, reading code is good. I know how to use this now. Funny that. Render gameplay background. Currently, this is how we're rendering tiles, right? For every single chunk that's relevant, I guess. For every single tile, get the position of that tile, work out its type, work out its offset, and then construct a sprite instance. Jarvis, draw that shit on the buffer. Mostly structs in C, more memory efficient. Do you have... I thought you didn't have classes at all, do you? C classes. It's going to show me a fucking university course, isn't it? Does Google think I'm a robot because I use the UDM14 extension? Classes in C. No, not C++. I don't think... I don't know, whatever. Doesn't matter. Let's get this shit working, alright? So I'm just going to hide chat for a moment. Don't say anything interesting. I'm going to move you off to the very side of the screen. A little hard to read you now, sorry. Why can I not make the chat bigger? Alright, the chat's big, but I can't see my own screen. No classes, more type defs and structs, though. That sounds about right. Right. Okay. You could focus on it. You could probably do more towards the tier 2 mod. It doesn't help that you manage to work on a project 2 to 3 times a week with it being random on what you feel like doing. Oof. Well, I mean, honestly, if you're enjoying yourself and it's what you're doing in your free time, I think it's okay to jump between projects. Right next to me, I've got half-painted Plague Marines. I've got a hard drive here with Japan footage from like 2-3 years ago that I still need to edit. I've got this video game I've been working on since COVID. Now I've actually picked up Dutch lessons. So I'll be doing those started soon. So that's a project I've been meaning to do too. There's a lot of shit going on. Maybe it's okay. Anyway, mostly I want to look at his code in drawing mode full screen shader in his draw function, which is going to be going in here. So, oh, actually, I think I can put these side by side. I don't know how this will look on stream though. Is kind of the issue. Can't really. I guess I could capture that window as well. Hang on, give me a moment. Let me go into studio mode for a moment. Window capture VS Code second. I would like to capture this one. And then pop that on the right of the screen. Right. I mean, it's not going to be perfect, but it kind of lets you see what I'm doing, okay? I'm sorry that it's a little jank. Programmers were not meant to stream. You see this shit? I think you can see this, right? It's a little jank, but you kind of get the idea, right? This is his code on the right. I'm going to look to implement it here on the left, okay? You should try V. Yeah? Wait, V? You don't mean V like VI or Vim. What is V? Just regular V. I do, man. What are the operations under flags registers? Ooh. Game Boy programming would be fun at some point. You like these projects, but you're inefficient at them like this. It's just a hobby, innit? It's okay to be inefficient in your hobby. Alright, so. We probably want these vars. We've already got view size and view offset. It looks like we're getting it in the same way. So view offset here is the center of the screen, view size is the size of the screen. How interesting. You guys like music? Sorry, offset bottom left, offset top right, we've already got these. I don't know if the calculations I'm using for it are quite correct, but we do already kind of have that. We have to construct an IVEC 3. I don't know if that's true. I think it's true because our tiles are done in 3D instead of 2D, so I think this is okay. And here, I guess the important part is that we're flooring the view offset divided by tile size, whereas he's not doing that. So maybe we can get rid of the floor. 100% certain on that, so remember that I did that when I complain later. Okay, so this is kind of matching. Tile scale. Now this I might not need. We'll come back to that. Tile size scaled. What are you doing here? I think we mostly need these 4. Chunk bottom left. Map.get indices. Get chunk indices. Oh yeah. But that is. Hello, Eddie. YouTube hates the F word. Is that nested loop normal? Yeah, read it. We're doing a rendering loop. We have chunks, and then within those chunks we have tiles. This is what we're replacing now, by the way. But yeah, this is very normal. If you're working with 3D coordinates, you've got 3 variables you need to go through. Shit's gonna be indented 3 times. That's how it works. But yes, it does smell funny, doesn't it? That's fine. We're getting rid of it. Okay, you're back. Hi, Donut. I'm just having a look. Do you like what I've done here? You can actually see my cursor going between the windows, which is crazy, because these are two separate sources in OBS. It's awesome. I'm surprised it works so seamlessly. This is not desktop capture. It's cool. You can actually see it's slightly crooked, I guess. Nice. Yeah, sorry. I was seeing what I need to grab, right? So I've already got the view size, the offset, the bottom left, and the top right. Although I don't know... Let's have a look. You have this data offset in tiles, which is the view offset in tiles, which is this. So you're calling the bottom left the view offset in tiles, and the top right, I guess you're calculating based off the... It's the map size in tiles, right? You're doing offset and size rather than bottom left, top right, correct? So I should probably refactor those names, I'm guessing. We can have our stuff fit. Careful about which ones are Vec 2 and which ones are IVEC 2. These are IVEC 3s, even. We were actually originally flooring these, so maybe I should go back to flooring. Well, we don't need to use IVECs anymore, right? I'm guessing I can convert to using what you've got here and use a regular Vec 3, right? And we can copy your name as well if you want to be careful. I think that's okay. So these are matching quite nicely. I don't know if tile size is going to be needed yet, so I'm just going to get rid of that for a moment. Just to limit the mental overhead. They're turned into IVEC 2s further down. Okay, I'll continue to read through. Chunk index bottom left, we can temporarily hide as well. That's okay. I remember you said something earlier about replacing something. So I'm just trying to remember that. You're making your own game engine or you're building something in Unity? This is not Unity. This is VS Code. I'm not using a mainline engine, but I'm using a library that Donut's written, which has a nice wrapper around SDL2 and Entity and a handful of nice libraries. We have to do a lot of stuff manually, which is why we're doing all this shit. So we're all learning. We're learning all sorts. You're now seeing an ATEX nested loop. What's people's problems with nested loops? It's a 3D coordinate. People use VS for Unity. Really? How would you iterate over an X, Y, and a Z? And in a chunk and an X, Y, and Z in a tile? They're JavaScript programmers. Well, I don't know. That's a little belittling, but... Oh, okay. I'm just wondering, because I see that, and then I'm like, what, am I missing some like really basic programming paradigm? Is there like a 4-3 loop or something? I'd like to know. Ah. Don't worry, I'm not particularly smart. I doubt that. You've only seen 2. So what we have on the left is our old rendering code for rendering tiles. We're now changing it to a new rendering thing. That's all. You can put the inner tree as a separate function. Yeah, but if the pores are still there, you can extract the function out there, gets rid of the Pyramid of Doom, but now you're making it slightly harder to read. You're exchanging code width for code height, which is fine. I think in this case it's okay there. At some point you're extracting for extracting's sake. I think this is okay. Most of this code is 4, so it's fine. If there was a lot of work in between, I would maybe consider extraction, but in this case it's chill. It's okay, and we're killing it. Don't worry, it's gonna be dead soon. Okay. We're here, basically. Fine. Let's just pretend this stuff doesn't exist right now, because this is causing me a fucking mental block as well. Hide that stuff off screen. So, earlier you mentioned something, right? What was it? These transformations happen in the reverse of the matrix multiplication. Okay, that was something else. Because I didn't end up using the if thing I mentioned, it could be simplified to a clear, reserve instead of a sign, and then a pushback instead of calculating the index. Yes. Yes, that makes sense. So that refers to that we have this giant array or a giant vector that we're filling, like an array list. And the implementation you have here is to just assign a ton of it and then work out an index later of where to put a tile. But what we could do instead is just wipe it, pre-allocate all that memory, and then just add them one by one, which is also fine, right? More about the digital drawing you've posted. I'm sorry I keep missing your messages. Keep reminding me. Digital drawing is something you have to get to the grind on as you're trying to get a job making game art, so you can become a game designer, but doing that unfocused for you as well. It can be really good. I did drawing with Chris for like a while. I don't know where my books are. They're around here somewhere. I actually don't know where they are, but we did drawing every day for like 100 days or 200 days or something, purely because we said, what are we doing today? Like, we just made it a daily activity, like 9 o'clock or whatever, we'd do drawing for half an hour or something. So just making it a habit is good. As long as you never skip any. What are the odds we'd skip drawing something? That's true. Is that necessarily a good approach? Why would we be skipping a tile? Because this is just an iterator. We're doing +1. How could we skip? I guess I'll continue reading. You have this return in here somewhere? No, I don't know. Treat them like multi-dimensional arrays. Treat them like multi-dimensional arrays. The chunks and the tiles? What do you mean? The matrix. It sounds very memory intensive. Have I misunderstood that? Like a 3D array. I mean, this is what it is right now, right? 3 components vector of single precision floating point numbers. This is what, I guess, Donut wrote. Anyway. Let's move on. What library did you say you're using? I can link it if you like. I'm sure Donut would appreciate it. This. It's by the guy in Twitch chat who you can see sometimes on screen. Isn't he nice? Map data and offset in tiles. So here you're doing that flooring and turning this into a still a vector. So you're still doing the flooring. Actually, I can bring that back, at least for this, and then I can call that map data offset and tiles, if I've read this correctly. Yeah. Wow, I wrote something incredible. So we already had this floor in here earlier, but it's good to see that we can still need it. That's floor 0. See what happens. So do you get floored as well? No, you're just passed in directly. Okay. Anyone here use the SDL3 API? I haven't. What are the major changes from SDL2? Your initial implementation checked if chunk before. Your initial implementation checked if chunk before setting the tile, since you had the chunk pointer be null if there wasn't a chunk at that spot. You switched to pre-allocating an empty chunk instead to avoid that branch. Good. Cool. Okay. Feels like an ADHD thing. On top of that, you're glad you got the referral accepted of being examined for ADHD autism. That's sick. You're gonna go to the GP or something and they're gonna run some tests. That's cool. SDL3 does have a direct GPU API now. Wait, what? You can use instead of OpenGL Vulkan. Wait, what? They wrote like an analog to OpenGL. That's huge, isn't it? It's just a wrapper. A wrapper around what? Not purely direct. Oh. Okay, well. Because that shit takes so long to write. That's really difficult. Is SDL3 or is SDL like a free open source like donator and volunteer done thing, or is it ran by a company? I thought it was like a free thing. It's an all-in-one essentially. That's really cool. Pretty much. See, you don't have to care necessarily about what metal you're running on. Just say draw fucking try here, buddy, and it'll be like, all right, pass that through to the metal API or whatever. I don't know. Valve uses it, so they're probably sponsoring it. Oh yeah, they are, aren't they? It's open source and heavily documented. I completely forgot. It was TF2 SDL, right? And they used Sea Lion, I think. I remember that. Yeah, waiting for it for a while now. Yeah, there's always a waiting list for these things, Rob. That's sad. But it's nice that you're on the list now. Why is it taking so long for me to copy and paste some shit? Whee! Just like that. You never have to do work if you just copy and paste. It's actually like a nice break. I haven't gotten to copy and paste off Stack Overflow in forever. I'm missing some fucking semicolons in here somewhere. I don't want to do that. Kind of half kidding. We can grab this bit there. So, oh, did you call that different? What is size? Oh, you do use this. Wait, hang on. Oh, it's this thing. I haven't got this yet. What is this? So we're getting an IVEC 2 of 1 by 1. Okay. And then we were getting the max ceiling. So this was the top right. Kinda. In tiles. Now I've changed to JBEC 3s. I think you're completely correct. I'm guessing I can just use a 3... Like, sorry, a 0 in here. So we've already got ceilings, so somewhere in here. Why are you angry? You're already a Vec 2. I guess view size could be I mean, it might be really simplified if I just change everything to be using Vec 3s, right? It might make things a lot easier. I don't know if it will make things easier. Think about how to handle multiple tiles across Z on the same plane. Yeah, that I haven't worked out yet. Do we have to do some sort of Z sorting? Because we currently are not making use of that ability to overlay tiles. Oh, I guess I could fill multiple buffers based on the Z. Like, instead of there being one texture buffer, I could have an array of texture buffers where the index is the depth. That could work. Right? You can have an outer loop around the whole thing that loops over Z and draws the quad multiple times. Yeah. I guess right now I'm going to choose to ignore that problem and just get something working first, and then we can think about that. Because otherwise this is going to take years. I'm already getting issues with using Vec 3s. That's funny. What's wrong, little buddy? Oh, you don't need to be a Vec 3, I'm stupid. What's wrong, little guy? Well, obviously this is going to be a problem. You're not on a Vec 3. What do you do here? Don't need this anymore. You've been upgrading a magic deck you have recently. I rather ordered some card for it. Ooh, what are you doing? Yeah, this is unnecessary. I guess I should have started top down. Fine. You're already a Vec 3, that helps. You want to be an IVEC 3 in here? Map data size and tiles. So here you're turning the ceiling into an IVEC. That's not right. Oh, whoops. The bracket needs to be in here. Are you already a Vec 3, right? So you don't actually need that. Playlist. We're listening to the Demetri, all albums. We're currently 6 hours and 16 minutes in. One of my favorite bands. Max visible tiles. We need to get this. This is just some number you made up. Do I want to just not render the screen if there's too many tiles? I guess I could do that. Put that in here somewhere. Sure, I'll just use whatever the fuck you had. Why not? You like Stratovarius? I thought that was a musical instrument. Is there a band? It's a Finnish power metal band. Maybe I do like Stratovarius. Formed in Helsinki? Formed in 1984. Well, I have heard their music. My Western metal knowledge is piss. Makes it really hard to talk about it with people. Like, oh yeah, I really like metal. Oh, what bands do you know? You know Undead Corporation? Confused with the Italian Stradivarius. I'll put this on the backlog. Probably can't listen to them on stream though. I'll probably get the pod deleted. For whatever reason, metal music always has like craziest copyright protection. I don't know if it's the same for Finnish stuff. World on Fire, Black Diamond, Destiny, Eagle Heart. Maybe I'll ever heard it. Lost Horizon 2. You got some good ideas in here. Is that a band or is that a song? Band. It's a Swedish power metal band. It has esoteric stage personas similar to sword and sorcery fantasy. Dude. That looks thick. Alright. Thanks. That gives me something to listen to during work. It's roughly the maximum texture size and some drivers. Epic. You're trying to increase synergy with the deck with the playstyle it's doing, or at least that's how you'd like to explain it. What colors was your deck again? Can you remind me? I know so little about Magic the Gathering other than what you told me in that stream like a year ago. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. We don't need this Mucho Tiles thing. That's okay. And this next bit we can grab. So if the texture that currently exists in map data texture is small, too small. Size of tile. That's a great question. Where's that map? What the fuck is my tile? It's just a UN8T, right? This deck is blue and red. Okay. I think my tile is this, because I changed it to tile type, but you just call it tile, right? But my refactor doesn't work, so I'm just going to leave it for now. Was that the Zelda stream where you yapped about magic? I keep thinking it was when I was playing Mountain Lab and I was up on that health pack near first, but maybe not. I was doing something in flow state, so it could have been Zelda. You mentioned on Discord how you changed the tile format for this. Where? Let me read this. I've been doing some experiments. Here's the source code. It's a little hacky. There were some workarounds. To make the calculations easier, instead of using an 8-bit tile type, my tile format is a 16-bit pair of 8 x by y tile coordinates into the tile set it's drawing from. Okay. I guess I'm doing a lot of work here to get Vec 3. I'm going to be discarding that fucking Z. Just remember that it exists for now, I guess. Maybe you've lapped about it. No, you haven't yapped about it that much. It could have also been Monster Hunter. I'm getting like a Monster Hunter memory. MMM. So, where's that? Where's your tile? Up here? So your tile is a U8 Vec 2. Please don't fuck up my X macro. No! Wait, hang on. That's not right. You're doing a using. I still want to do this define. Tile format doesn't need a Z because it's the position in the tile set. Yeah, I know. That's what I meant. That's what I meant. But I meant that I'm doing a lot of work right now to identify a tile as if I'm going to use this Z coordinate for anything. But it's not useful right now. Okay. What am I doing here? Your tile is not an enum. Can I not do this shit? Oh wait, it's just a performance option or what? Wait, hang on. Let me read this. Tile type uses a larger base type, int, than is necessary for its value set. Consider using uint8t. You can just make constants for all of those. I'm sorry? You can't use struct as an enum's underlying type. What is U8 Vec 2? Oh. Oh wait, so I can't... Wait, hang on. Is this where in the... Let me show on Discord. Is this where in the atlas the tile is? Speed pass is dead. Yeah, I saw. Advance. Yes. Oh, that sucks. That's what you meant by tile set. Oh. I mean, that's fine. That's fine, but... Oh, fuck. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. You think it's easier to work with? Is that what this splotch tiles is? Because that shit ain't English readable. I guess I can't use enums, right? I have to make a bunch of member variables. But then do I have to say, if I want to check what tile is at a position, I have to cast it? The cast would succeed because they're all the same type? I'm gonna need you to, yeah, to help me out here. I'm just gonna quickly continue to just do a little monkey coding here. Okay, static context for tile, air depth, flower. Yeah. It does mean I'm writing in code where, which I already was doing. How would this work with animated tiles? I would have to come up with some other variable that I chuck in to say, based on the time, render the tile to the right or something, right? I think that's correct. Okay. Fine. Yeah, that could work. I don't remember what I just said, but I think it was good. How does shit like these switch statements work? Oh, it's the animation. That's what I was talking about. Okay, ignore me for now. Animation is like a fucking stretch goal. Let's just draw the fucking tile on the screen. Okay, I guess we can get rid of this X macro. Goodbye. Where's the end if? It's just down here, right? So you're suggesting that I say something like using... I'm going to call it tile type for now, just so I can do a refactor later. Okay. And then I'm going to do a little monkey business. Say something like this. Static const expr tile type blah. And then I guess you just... Do I have an end on this keyboard? That would be. This is fine. And then I can just cut this. Let me redo it. You want to keep this for this collision ball, actually. Okay. What are you suggesting? While you're doing that, I'm going to bring up the asset... What do I fucking call it? This is your program. Asset manager? I've got all this shit. I need to convert these back into... Actually, no, that's already correct. Let's go. I've already got the fucking coordinates right here. I just need to put them in the right order. Dirt, flower, sand, brick, small tree, other tree path. Did I not have more than this? Maybe not. Fine. Grass. You are 2-0. Flower, you are 7-1. Oh, I'm so smart. Sand is 37-0. So that's this. Bricks. 32-2. These might be off by 1, and we'll have to adjust them. It depends on what coordinate system I use for this. It's very possible. Small tree. 1624. Other tree 4x5. and then a path, 7x0. I have no idea how this shit's gonna work with multi-sized tiles. That's a problem for another day. I'm gonna hide this just for now so I can compile. I'm aware that you're doing something. You feel like you're in the mood to yap about magic, so you're gonna go for now, so you won't produce the walls of text. You're welcome to, but yeah, if you want to go off, that's fine as well. Thanks for joining today. I hope you enjoyed it. Good luck with your magic. Okay. While this is cooking, I don't actually know if I'm using this right now. I can just comment it for compiler's sake. Let's go back in here. Goodbye, you lot. Actually, I can get rid of all of you for now. Just write a little comment so I don't forget. Hello, Weary Dev. For animation, consider adding a new parameter to the shader, which says animation length, animation frame count or something, and move right in the tile set based on time. Smiley face. To do. What game are you creating here? We're making a bullet hell game where you dodge bullets and shoot stuff. We're currently rewriting our rendering engine, kinda, a little sort of. Or at least the part of the engine where we're rendering the tiles. Before we used to render every tile individually, now we're just rendering one big texture. The code you see on the right is a example for how that would work, as in having a big texture and sampling tiles. And I'm implementing that on the left in our game project. Donut's now sent me some more code. So he's left in this X macro, which is air, dirt, flower. It matches up with these at least. That's fine. I guess we don't need this. If we got rid of this. This has collision part. Let me think. Actually, you've already thought for me. No discard, context expert has collision, so that's this function we have down here somewhere. Did I comment it out? Oh, it's right here. This thing? So I don't need this chunk in here. I was just defining the enums. So you've changed this as such. I'll just copy it over. Let's have a read. So interesting. Before we were switching over an enum. If it had collision, then we returned height. Now, is that correct? Yeah. Now, if the type is tile type pos, I guess that's the position with. Oh, okay. Is that correct? Then has collision. How are you doing this? Oh, you've deleted that top stuff? Okay, I see. I see. The if statements might not compile to as fast code as the switch statement, but when optimized it should be okay. Worst case it would turn to a lookup table of size 65,000 by matching XY together. Fine. You're suggesting this. And then in which case I would want to bring back my the code from earlier. This. Where is it? What's this shit? No. This thing. But we just want to move this to here. I think that's correct. So this is like this. Okay. This is gonna have problems though. You can get rid of the enum. Yeah? How do I guess type this is enough. How do I say that this thing over here is going to be an air tile? I construct a tile type. How does that work? You'll want to generate the constants. Yeah. But I guess that would just be the static const expr stuff from earlier, right? So that's still something using this x. So it will be something like this. Something like this? Question mark? Maybe you can't do the static part. It's something along those lines, right? I guess instead of tile, it'll be tile type. Oh, you've written it completely fucking differently. Hang on, let me have a look. I guess you wouldn't need this enum class thing. Define x. Inline const expr tile type. Is inline necessary here? Inline const expr tile type name pos. Okay, that just generates the constants. Inline is better than static in this case. How so? This has upset me. Oh, what? Too many arguments provided to function like macro invocation. Oh? Is it because... What is this? Probably. Okay. I don't really use inline all too much. I thought it's more of a... Is that not a message to the compiler to say, like, please inline this, as opposed to creating a point is the right word. Function pointing at some function in another compiler. What's the word? Piece of... There's a word for this. Compilation piece? What's it called? You have a single source file. The preprocessor doesn't understand curly braces, so it thinks the comma inside is separating another argument. Curly braces. Push them to parentheses instead. Them. This is the preprocessor instruction. Oh. Oh, you mean here? These things. I see, I see. Oh. Fuck it. You're not so smart, VS Code. Does this comma in here work? Or do I need to make X and Y separate coordinates? The constants will have to say inline const expr file type name equals file type pos. Okay. Oh, it's not called tile type anymore. Tile type needs to be above it. Okay, that's good. I need to learn more about macros, or maybe not. I was told off for looking at macros the other day. So this seems cool. A little bit of code gem. Kinda. I guess it just saves you from a little bit of human error with black magic. What are you doing in here, little guy? Something called the most vexing pass. You can look it up if you feel like you like C++ too much. The most vexing pass. Most vexing pass is a counterintuitive form of syntactic ambiguity resolution in the C++ programming language. In certain situations, the C++ grammar cannot distinguish between the creation of an object parameter and specifications of a function's type. In those situations, it interprets the line as the latter. I'm not reading this right now, but okay. I'll keep that in the tab. Why do I have all these lads? That can't be right. What are you doing? I have a feeling this code doesn't quite work. Yeah, it's not. We don't need this switch anymore. Hang on, this is the old code. That explains it. Yeah. Am I stupid? Copy, 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 copy. Paste. Okay, I don't know why Windows copy's been shit lately. It's just not been working. Okay, this is fantastic. Great advice. Thank you very much. That's terrific. Awesome. Magic. Okay, what the fuck were we doing? Oh, we were rewriting our tiles. Oh no. Back to this. Okay, fine. Title type. Hello, TV file. How are you doing? Stressed. What's wrong? What's up? This thing's angry at me. Maybe I just need to build once. I'm kind of afraid to build. I have a feeling we have compilation errors up the wazoo. Yeah. Const. Wait, are you a const texture? No. Is this a const function? Your drawing function isn't const. Do I just need to make this not const, question mark? You looks like you didn't get a dorm room for uni. Oh. Are you starting in September, I guess? You're still not 100% sure. How does it work? Are you doing your first year? Were you applying for halls? There's always options. It would suck massively. Yeah, but in your third year. Okay, okay. Were you in dorms the last 2 years? Do you have to reapply every year? Or did you just do like a sandwich course or something? Is that how that works? You just do this as mutable? Great. Yes. Yes, you did the sandwich course. Or yes, you have to reapply every year. How remote is your university course? Could you do remote for a bit while you find a flat? No, you've been there for 2 years and have to apply every year. That sucks. It sucks that you'd have a chance to not have a flat. I'm guessing you're in a... Sadly, you cannot. Bloody hell. I mean, the worst case, you either drive, get driven, take public transport, or live in a hotel, right? Until you find a flat. I'm guessing you could find... Maybe not, but maybe there's student accommodation nearby where you could do like flat shares and stuff. I don't know what your situation is. That's unfortunate though. Ooh, I hated finding flats at uni. Cache member variables like this, mutable is usually acceptable as long as there's no multi-threading. Yeah, it should be fun. Okay, cool. Let's copy the next chunk. Map staging buffer, that's a new thing we need. So this is our set of tiles. This we were considering changing a little bit, I remember. So instead of a sign, we were going to do clear. Is it not dot clear? Empty? Just reassign? That would be mutable as well. Oh yeah. We were going to clear, and then we were going to allocate. What is it? Alloc? Alloc? What is it in C++? Assign? Reserve. Okay. Default tile in this case is just some random bullshit, right? It's like 0, 1 or something. This is like a piece of empty space. I guess I'll just make it 0, 0. Could I... The preprocessor will have generated air at this point, right? So I should just be able to say air. I think? Or nay? I guess it's just air. It's just a... Maybe I should, behind these names, should I put, pile underscore maybe? Because I have a strong feeling that there's a... I know we're using all caps, but I don't really want to risk, name collisions. I don't need anything because reserved isn't initialized or anything. Oh yeah. What do you think about, like, prefacing this? I guess it makes sense. This feels cleaner to me. Especially if I add other stuff that isn't tiles. Something else called in a similar way, or whatever. It just feels better. But yeah, we're just reserving the memory. We're not actually allocating anything yet. Great. You can be an IVEC. What was I going to do about Z again? I guess I could, what did I say? We could just iterate through Z and draw multiple times? Is that chill? I wouldn't necessarily have to have a array of buffers. I could just clear the buffer every time for Z, right? Okay. You can mark it as a struct of 2 and 8 2s and declare the statics. Oh. I would at least namespace them. I'm gonna leave it as it is for now, but that's a good idea. Namespacing, you know what I mean. Yeah, with Z. Should I already commit to just ignoring Z? And then later we had this for here, right? We should be able to work out the smallest and largest Z, right? Out to Z loop should be fine as long as there aren't too many layers. I think we just have like 3. So I think it's chill. We just need we need like a ground level, a normal level, and then like an overlay level for now. We'd never have more than like a double. So I think this is chill. Okay. Get the brain in gear. Let's discard the Vec3s for now. It's a little silly what I'm doing here, but just please go along with it for a moment. I'll refactor the whole Z thing in a moment once we're done. I'll go the range to 0 to 3. I think that's what we did, right? Yeah. Oh, I mean, I could already do this in the... This could be the loop, like, up here somewhere. Here? Maybe here? We could already do the loop. I'm guessing the height and width would be the same for everything. We'll just outside the part you're writing, pretty much. We don't need to clear and reserve the buffer every time? Ideally, I'd like... Maybe this was out of scope, but I was kind of hoping that the whole file max can be outside. You mean like here? Ideally, I was kind of hoping that the layering the tiles would show the tile underneath. How would this work? I guess the draw loop is inside. Or outside. Should do that. We have the draw inside the loop, right? We just grab this bit. This alternate version might not keep the old textures you're drawing around, so you might need multiple. I guess we'll find out. We could, while experimenting, just hard code chunk Z in this for loop to be whatever depth we're using, 0, 1. You're 90% sure that's the case. So we would want to have a array of staging buffers, or just construct a new one within here. I'm guessing that there's quite a lot of overhead from constantly constructing this array over and over again. So maybe I should make an array of map staging buffer of size... Oh, there needs to be one of these. Okay. Is it the pastel merge copies? Paste image. Pastel merge. Pastel mage. What am I copying? Texture. I can have an array of texture of size, depth, or whatever. Magic Missile. Magic Missile? That game was cool. The one where you could do like voice activated D&D spells? That shit was sick. Very funny seeing German run around yelling Magic Missile. This shit was good. Oh, get chunk indices is static. Okay. I guess that makes sense. You're not constraint. Standard unordered map. If you make map data textures a standard array of size 3, you can either use size on it, so you're technically not hard coding 3 in the loop. Yeah. Well, the idea would just, you could just do a for loop, right? I guess this is still the C++ way. I was going to say like a smart loop with a index loop. But yeah, to do. You want a Z index anyway. Yeah. In some of the other languages I've used, you can do a smart loop. What the fuck do you call it? Auto loop. Indexed, so you can get both the object and the index. It's just nice shorthand. You want to fetch at the right Z from the map. You definitely do, I think. You do it right here. My find doesn't exist. You have your hashing function, right? Let's have a look at this gorgeous piece of work. You said this was based on Boost, right? Did you do anything else to it, or you just made that shit up? This is fucking lovely. Here you're overriding the operator. What data structure is this in? It's private, but it's within map, I guess, right? Yeah, so I should move this out of... No, wait, wait, hang on. Let me look at my code a bit better. Where have I put this? Map? Oh, it is within map. Boost also did the... Is that a shift? Oh, you default chunk to being constructed with the air. Yes. I like constructors being at the top. What is going on in here? You just added some asserts, right? And you've inlined, outlined, index. Yes. Okay. Oh, I put this stuff in map. Which is correct. Wait, your struct map. What's this overall thing? What's the namespace? I've done this weirdly. And yours is chunk part of map. Yeah. Guess that's okay. I like this stride thing. This get tile is now going to be confused, huh? You usually do it in this order: public types, public statics, public fields, public constructors, public methods, private type statics and constructors. I don't know, if I usually find that I want to look for a constructor, and if it's in a huge file, it's kind of hard to search for in the, like, VS Code. So just having it always at the top is like a nice quality of life. Just scrolling straight to the top and knowing that in all of my classes and structs, that's where the constructor is. I would even go as far as to like put it in its own private public tag if necessary. It's like appeasing the tool, I guess, because there's no easy, or at least I don't know the easy shortcut for jumping to a constructor. Why is this thing angry at me? It's because it just hasn't compiled. Yeah. In your scheme, it's normally at the top as well, because not many types declare public types / statics. But you have it under the fields. I mean, yeah, I guess I do a pretty similar order. Weirdly, the code I use at work has the fields under the function. The declarations. Is that right? Maybe that's not right. It is right sometimes, actually. Why do they do that? Whatever. It's like we have like context objects. We'll have like struct context, a bunch of functions, and then a bunch of fields. That just seems strange. Whatever. This thing's angry. Why are you angry? I desperately want to do this before the end of the day. It's getting so late. I think we can do it if we just keep going. We're making good speed. Do I have to do some declaration to use that hash? No, right? Right, here's your for loop and your drawing. I guess we don't need that break. See that control t-shirt? Fuck it. Thoughts on generative world models? What is that? Is that a machine learning thing? I really like procedural generation, like using maths and stuff. Chunk said should probably be tile Z, by the way. They're the same thing, I guess? Yeah. Sure. Come on. Like in this case, I'm using it as the tile Z, but like it's a layer, really, right? They'll probably end up in the same chunk, actually. Okay. Sorry, why is this thing angry at me? Const chunk is empty chunk. Empty chunk is a const chunk. You're angry at me. Missing type specifier. You're not including chunk? Oh, it's a map chunk. Right. Oh, did I put you in private? No, I don't actually know if I need to make you a sub class. Whatever. I think this is okay. What I had before. I think that was fine. Okay. Oh. Chunk size is 3 on Z. Okay. Full screen shader needs to be loaded in. How lovely. We'll have to construct that. File set texture we'll have to grab as well. Let's do them one at a time. What is a full screen shader? Is it the struct you have in map? You have it as a private. So I'd have it now here, I guess. Let's see what you're doing here. Why are you angry at me? Unqualified ID. Am I losing my mind? Maybe he's angry at me and I just need to build. Full screen shader. You've got... It's possible to generate an environment from a preset using differentials. Same concept but backwards. Generative well. Let me Google this. I'm sorry, I immediately ignored it because I thought it was an AI comment. Generative world models. Oh, it is. I don't care. I'm sorry. I kind of care. But like... I don't know. It's a neural network that simulate real-world environments such as video to predict accurate outcomes. It's kind of cool, actually, I guess. It's the shit that we base video generation on, so it makes me kind of... But the tech behind it is insanely cool. I'm so conflicted on it, because on one hand, the developers at NVIDIA that have made this shit blow my mind how intelligent they are. But then the people who use this blow my mind how stupid they are. And that's a serious conflict in my head. We're killing off human emotion, but also, like, smart people are doing it. I guess it's interesting to be able to say, I guess if you're like Assassin's Creed map developers, instead of having a career built in like creating interesting worlds, you just make it using simulations. Do we not already have simulations of the environment? I thought there's an enormous field of study on enormous. I thought there was a field of study on replicating the environment in simulation. I thought we were kind of already doing that. Like a lot of big open world games start with a randomly generated world based on kind of standard constraints of like sea level and mountain growth and all this bullshit. Probably a fucking simplex noise in there because a YouTube video said so. And then they're fine crafted. So I mean, yeah, we'll probably use all this stuff to streamline the process and kill off art. Maybe I do hate it. The stealing of training data. Stealing of training data is one thing, but you can train stuff based on work. You could create the training data. It's what we used to do for years. You want to make like an RC car or that auto drives. You create a bunch of images of traffic cones and label what the cone is manually in every single image, and you train it on that, and that would do perfectly fine. Yeah, like I have to like oppose all the art killing shit. I have to. As cool as the tech behind it is, the use of it is abhorrent. Why did we not automate shit like doing tax returns? Why have we automated drawing art? We took the cheapest form of human labor, creativity, and automated it. Great. Fucking great. Awesome. Those people, they should stick to the office, I guess. We still haven't worked out how to make Excel work properly. I'm angry now. No. Paying in exposure is too expensive. An awful world. Bad. Alright, where's your fucking file path? Full screen, fragment, shader, file path. Let's chuck it here. I guess I have it in data, or do you already have it in data? Is that the assumption? I'm already using a shader, right? How am I loading that in? I should check that. I should reuse my own code. I think even in this same file... menu shader. This lad. Oops. Oh, here we go. We construct it here. So I'm just going to do that in the same way. Oh, you've done this differently. Hang on, do I need to do this? Full screen shader is a shader. What's the goal right now? We are refactoring? No. Rewriting the tile rendering pipeline. You don't really need the outer struct, it was mostly to make it easier to add shader parameters in the future. Should I just store it as a regular shader for now, I guess? Whatever we did before. I guess I can just do what I had earlier. Not that different. Yeah, I think this is fine. This album's kind of nice. I don't know if you'd be mutable. I guess I'll leave you as mutable because you were, but maybe it's chill. Oh, it's not shader 2D, you want shader 3D? Yeah. I feel like I'm a posh person listening to this music. Vertex shader source code instanced model. Sounds fancy. I think Clang format just died. Goodbye, lad. Shader slash menu slash frag. Take me to data, shaders, map underscore full screen. Sure. Why are you angry? You're not a 2D lad. You're the 3D lad, of course. It's not quite Vivaldi the Four Seasons Spring. No, but it's really good. Sorry, what on earth have I done here? Oh, my sir, you've forgotten your bracket. I haven't listened to this album. This is like Demetri's weird, like, one-off one, right? 7 hours, 15 minutes in. What album is this? Super Retro Game. I've just not heard this one. This YouTube video, I didn't realize it. This YouTube video has the fucking bootleg albums of Demetri. I didn't know this. It's awesome. God, they're talented. Okay, bye-bye. Now, we finally got that one thing fucking done. Shader is not a donut. Huh? How about this? Tileset texture, what are you? Being passed in, great. What are you? What are you? You're a graphics image. Is that what my tileset is? Yes. Right, you'll want to load the whole Pokemon tile set instead of each tile as its own texture. Yeah? Correct. This is menu background, this is something else. Good shit. Asset manager. Whee! Goodbye. Sayonara. It's like Hu Tao. I should play more Genshin. Tommy showed me there's some like sick updates coming out. What is tile set texture? Graphics texture. You are called textures/gsc.png. I don't remember where I put it. It's probably called tile set texture. And you're at this position. Do you have to specify these? Aren't these the defaults? Oh. Repeat is true. Why? Linear filtering's on by default. Really? Huh. It's fucked. It's not fucked, I'm sure it's very normal. My background's using linear filtering then. Totally normal in 3D. So right, Bursty. compiling just to remove one red line one at a time, huh? What is your render resolution? Is that just your screen size? Yeah. Screen size in your case. This is doing... So you said this was doing the reverse of what, sorry? This transformation? Hey, you're already a Vec 3, buddy. Great work. You're a Vec 2 now, Buster. Please say I can construct it like this. Oh. How about that, buddy? Oh, it's not called viewed offset in tiles. What the fuck is view offset in tiles? View offset divided by tile size. Probably up here somewhere. It's this, but not flawed. Bastard. Vec 3, right? I'm gonna have so many errors by accidentally having an I Vec instead of a Vec. The default quad from -1 to -1 to 1 1, and you want to move it from 0 0 to screen size. Oh, so if you draw a quad on screen, it would actually be like down there. Hey, look, there's shit going on. Let's fix this to do now. They want map data. Hang on. Map data texture should be a... And then the size for now, 3? Is that how you do this? Oh, no, sorry. What's the fucking syntax for this shit? Like that? I don't remember how fucking standard arrays work. I thought you put it in here. Maybe it's on the right side. Okay. Size, I actually want to get this from, I guess, map. Somewhere we have, like, max depth. Right? Chunk size. Chunk size.z. I don't think... Oh, you do plus tile Z. Is this okay? It doesn't make sense because it doesn't necessarily have to match. Why is that? Chunk size.z is, I thought, what we were using in the level generator. Is it not? Hey, monkey boy. It's been forever. It has been indeed. How are you doing? You still alive? You could want to draw multiple chunks worth of layers. Hang on a moment. You could want to draw multiple chunks worth of layers. Yeah? Chunk size Z could have been 1, for example. Chunk size is, I thought, the maximum. No? I thought that's what that was. It's the definition of this is what a chunk is. Its size is 16 by 16 by 3. Right? I was quite sure that's how that worked. I haven't seen you around since the TF2 days. Oh, I'm around. You've got thousands of hours of woolen content. It's just the size of one chunk. Since your unordered map key is 3D, you could have as many chunks on Z as you want. Oh, that wasn't how I was implementing this. I was treating this as the maximum number of... Sorry, are you saying that I'd have overlapping chunks on Z? Can you explain what you mean? This is not how I was imagining this. Can you see paint? I think you can. Kinda. I was imagining, like, this is a chunk. Oops. It can be 16 by 16 by 3. And then that's one chunk. And then the next chunk could be here, or here, or here, or here, or here, or here, etc. You get the idea. We're drawing 3 layers. How could I draw 3 layers if I've only got... I think maybe you don't understand what I'm doing with the rendering, or like what my design was, I should say. How would I be drawing 3 layers? I'd only be drawing 1 layer, because there's only 1 layer maximum. I treat that as the chunk size is the maximum number of things you can have this way, and this way, and this way. Let's have a look exactly. Chunk size is not the maximum number of chunks. No, it's not. No, it's the maximum number of it's the maximum tile coordinates within one chunk. It's the size of one chunk. Yeah, a chunk can be 16 by 16 by 3. So I'm going to check through layers 0, 1, 2, 3. Because the map is 3D, you can have chunks stuck on top of each other. This was not something I'd planned for. What's the use case for that? Why would I do that? It's what you coded, though. What I coded, though. I guess with this current system, if I were to do that, you could technically have like bridges and troughs. Talked about it when you did it. Having layers on top of each other. Having layers, yes. Having chunks, no. You don't have chunks on top of each other in Minecraft, for example. It just goes up. Y goes up here, Z and goes down there. This is drawn, then that, then that, then that, then that, then that, then that, then that. How would you Z sort it? You'd actually use Z as 3D Z, because I thought this was meant to be a 2D game. We were just sort of leveraging 3D to help a little bit. Thanks to how the current system works, you could technically have infinitely tall levels. It's just that you'd only be able to see a slice of 3 at a time. That's true. That complicates things heavily, because then that actually makes this a 3D game, doesn't it? And I wasn't planning on making infinitely tall levels. The almighty algorithm buried me. Oh, absolutely. Swinging by because you saw me. You'll go through what you missed. Ah, thank you. Hope you have a good one. You too. There's a good Minecraft series for you to watch. Hello, Nathan Beggs. How are you? We're discussing chunks. Extra code. What were you guys up to? Thanks for the raid. Look at you. Hi. Just something to keep in mind. What's your suggestion then for iterating over the layers? Because I was mentally treating the design of this game as being, sorry for the flashbang, pretty 2D like this, you know? This is the game. I wasn't planning on being like, oh yeah, you can stack this shit. That's a lot more work, I thought. Hello guys, hello. Okay. Just continue as you were, but make chunk size.z 1 and the map data texture size 3. Sure. It doesn't matter. Okay, so you're suggesting that a chunk is more like a layer. Keep them conceptually separate. I wonder. We were limiting the layer size, right? So we could limit the number of calculations we'd have to do. We don't have to check for a bunch of tiles that don't exist in a layer that doesn't exist. How do you suggest we do this? We iterate through, or like when we generate the level, we store the maximum and minimum depth that was created, and then scan over those. Maybe we store that as part of the level. Max height, min height, or we have like a set, even. Hard coding for 3 is fine. But what about that suggestion? We have a set, an unordered set of all layers that we end up using that can grow and shrink as the level uses it. You know, if the level happens to not use an overlay, then great. And then we loop through that set when we're drawing. Or maybe we do an ordered set, actually. Then we can actually do it in draw order. Hi readers, what were you watching on Twitch earlier? What was Nathan up to? I guess a lot of this doesn't necessarily matter right now. Making a game from scratch as much as possible? Awesome. I love to see it. What kind of project are you working on? Is it also C++? What, from as scratch as possible with OpenGL? That's really cool. That's awesome. How long have you been working on it? The original suggestion way back was to have each chunk to have a vector of layers, but we ended up not going with that. Yeah. Alright. I just want to get something drawn for now. It's 11, so let's just hard code it for now. Fine. We do. Think about options for layers. It's been 10 months. You just have sound working, so getting there. That's pretty sick. What's the game you're working on in particular? You can still use map data textures.size. Oh, that's true. Well, we're just gonna hard code that. Well, this should be fine. Map data texture.size. I should call this textures. I'll just make this 3 for now. To do, consider not making this 3 hard coded. Fine. And I'll just rewrite and refactor this. Alright, I think we can full screen this now. We can hide this other VS Code. It's a puzzle game kind of thing. There's the great name Game. I love Game. At least it's not Untitled Project. Brackets 1, final, full caps, final, bracket 10. Currently struggling to generate chunks in your engine and this popped up in your feed. That's a coincidence. Bloody hell. What's wrong? If Untitled Goose Game can have that name, anything goes. You thinking about UG right now? Right. Something's going on here. It's angry about paste image 2D, huh? Is less than equal to correct here? That freaks me out a little bit. Signed, unsigned mismatch. Hang on a moment. Oh, you're an int. You should be a uint. Hang on, actually. Tile Z, what are you? What size? Just size T? I guess. Auto. How about this old bean? It should be less than, not less than equal to. Yeah. Please do not check for tiles at array fucking index 4. You do not want to know what's in there. Stuff gets crazy in there. Off by 1 for sure. Yeah, that felt bad. All right, what's paste image 2D? What are you up to? It's not a member. You have a new version of the library, huh? The forbidden 4th tile layer, the delicious 4th tile layer. Signed, unsigned mismatch. What is going on here? The size is of what type? I'd have thought size T, right? Size T, it's a long. Alright. Unlock another megabyte for your N64 type shit. Isn't it? It's the 9th bit, right? It has a 9th bit somehow? The forbidden 9th bit. What is this paste image 2D? I need to go back to your code for a second. Paste image 2D. Yeah, I thought auto should work. You think it makes it an int? I thought auto was meant to just work magically. I guess I need to update the library. Give me a moment. 0 is an int. Fair enough then. 0LL. Oh, very smart. Okay. I guess there's a new version of the lib. Was it CMake lists? Dependencies? No, where did I put this shit? It's regular CMake lists? It's just in here? No. Out too. Oh yeah, I'm a little out. I hope this doesn't break the compilation. Size T isn't necessarily long though. True. I don't just do size T then. Let's make everyone happy. Size T this stuff. What's up, Massey? You said you're struggling with generating chunks. What's up? Okay, no, it's actually angry. No, it's angry at this. Hang on. Paste image 2D is not a... Oh, it wants an image 2D, but we're a... Oh, no, wait, hang on. We need to be in a... We're looking at an array. We need to do an accessor. Sorry, I'm very tired. Is that a good excuse? Just hope so. What do I have to do? Get? We found out that there was a difference between just using square brackets to access it and using get, right? Oh! Dude, it almost compiled. Oh, you haven't done it in months, and when you did it, it was Swift and Metal. Swift! Yes! We love Swift. We love Swift. No, why does no one I know use Swift? Let's go. You're now doing OpenGL and C++. No! We nearly had a Swifty. Aye. That's pretty cool, though. Square brackets be open, get can't. There was another use. At would bounds check and throw if it was out of range. Brackets here is fine because you're explicitly iterating from 0 to size -1. Aye. Because it came up in work the day after we found it on this project. You do Swift for your job, you don't want it to be for fun too. When I started this project, I was doing Swift in Kotlin, buddy. I had the same feeling. Now I'm doing C++ at work. The fools. They're paying me to learn for my personal project. Don't let them know I called them fools. They pay me. Alright, bub. Oh, hang on, this shit won't work. I'm stupid. Obviously. This little lad needs to be in there, I guess. I think that's okay to clear it down there. But just, I mean, I guess we can do it here. Maybe I should actually store this little lad that we're making heavy use of. That's fine. A little bit of a coat smell is okay. Treat. And no, I should probably extract that shit. Auto texture. I don't know. I'll give it some stupid name. This texture's sad. It doesn't like it. Oh, sorry. Now you're fine. Oh, I found out something cool about VS Code earlier today, chat. You know Control D that lets you highlight something and then highlight the next items? It explicitly uses the settings you have in search. So if I enable, for example, match case, then it will not scale and... Oh, but come on now. The letter A and the letter A. Command D won't highlight that next A. Okay. But if I turn off that... Why does it keep going back to the top? If I turn that off... then it will. Isn't that cool? I didn't know that. So the settings you have up here impact Control D. Your employers are fools too. Got him. Pretty cool, eh? Isn't that what job it is for, paying for our personal dev? Aye. I've learned so much more at work than I did at university. Why was I paying for university? Makes no sense. Oh yeah, the bit of paper. Oh yeah. The bit of paper that let me get the job. That. Oh, God. Silly, huh? Eh? A? Oh, you mean A? A? I was saying eh because I'm fun. This is fun. I'm going to change all of this to. We kept the naming the same. Tile dirt. Go crazy, buddy. It didn't go crazy. What's up? Aye. Oh. I can't use a switch statement anymore. If tile is this. Oh, this is spooky music. Get out of here. Guess you don't need that anymore. And then I guess you don't need that. You know you can put using enum class in a switch statement. Using enum class name in a switch statement. These aren't enum classes, although no. Not anymore at least. We had originally written these as enum class members? Options? Types? But now they're just a bunch of const expiras. You dirty definer! Donut's the dirty definer. He did this. He gave me this magical macro code that allows me to only have to rewrite myself once. He's the smart one. Bad Donut. It's not an enum class in the first place. Wouldn't be doing this in Swift, would we, Matty? This fucking... This. Look at this. Steve Jobs crawling in his grave. Swift is it definitely released while Steve Jobs was still alive, right? It's like 2016 or something. Maybe it's after him. Was he an Objective-C boy? Hey, it crashes. That's a good sign. It compiled. What's happening in here? Map staging buffer index. And what index is this? Figure out a way to make an enum class out of a struct then. I won't. I will choose to complain. There's a pushback now. Yeah. There's nothing in there right now, huh? That makes sense. You believe he was alive, he probably loved C++. Yeah, he definitely did. Dude made $1 trillion business out of a garage. He was absolutely using... What am I doing? Pushback tile. He was absolutely using fucking Vim. I guess we don't need to calculate this, yeah. Or that, or that. Alright. He didn't really code. I think he coded quite a bit, but that's not what his main job at Apple was. What the fuck is going on here? Stuff is drawing. Something is off. Something is off. Why is there spooky music playing? This isn't quite right, but it is beautiful. It's a 3D game. Wow. What the fuck is this? What is this? Back before he became the iPhone boy. Yeah, he worked at Microsoft. He was a pretty good programmer, I thought. Got Axis mixed up. I don't know what we got mixed up, but maybe I just leave this shit in the game. Yeah, it looks very good at the very start. Right? Do we not take into account scale? Although this looks like it's been doubled. Hang on, why does scrolling in scroll me into the top right? I don't think this is right. This isn't right, lads. This is wrong. What the fuck is going on here? Okay, first of all, are we drawing the layers? I mean, we're drawing something. Let me think for a moment. I have a feeling that the sprite that it's drawing is simply just off. So, dirt. Oh, let's see, look at something a bit easier. Yeah, dirt is drawing something at 37.0. I open GSC and I look at 37. This one? What tile are we seeing the most on the screen? Is it just drawing the one underneath? That boy ain't right. I've been watching King of the Hill. So they are Pokemon assets. Don't look. I have a feeling that the dirt is drawing... Why does it look like this? I think the dirt is drawing off the top of the screen. No, do you pick the bottom left of a tile in your tile picker or what? So I think dirt is meant to be this. But I think it's just drawing the thing above it. But maybe not. Maybe the layers aren't drawing properly. 0, is bottom left. Buddy, it doesn't match. It's different. I have to fucking re-find all the tiles. You're killing me. It's the opposite. Oh. Oops. Oh. I was the top left, so I guess it's here. So if I just add however tall this sprite is in tiles, it should be fine, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. And yes, I did count those. 25. Yeah, I was just going to say thingy minus 25. I'm guessing it still starts at the left, right? Yeah, it's just 25 is the top. So I have to do 25 minus this? No, that's not right. Num rows minus y. Am I losing my mind? Tiles minus old y. Yes. You don't have x and y split. Oh, we do. The issue here is just that in the old rendering system, I was picking tiles from the top left. So all these hard-coded values I had were based on finding this as x and then y from the top. But now, wires from the bottom. How many columns are there? God knows. I could open Asebrite, but I kind of want to go to bed soon. Tiles Y -1 minus old Y. 0 will be 24. Yes. So that's 0. So 0 on the end is now 24. 24. 23. 0. 24. 22. 24. And then 19. Donut, can you explain to me again why OpenGL uses the fucking top left of the screen as 0, 0? Hey, look! Okay, it's looking the right... It's looking almost right. The dirt isn't being drawn. Everything's grass. But that's okay. Maths does. Yes, that bottom left makes sense to me. Oh, hang on. If I zoom in enough, I can see other tiles. So maybe it's just drawing... Maybe I have shit, like, on top of each other. Yeah, hang on. I think the dirt tiles are there. They're just not being rendered. I think the grass is being drawn over the top of the dirt. This all makes sense. Yeah, that should be this element here. Are they on different Zs? I thought they were. It's at 1. This is zombie music. So all the trees should be at 0. It's going up. So it should draw 0, 1, 2, right? So if we're setting the dirt at position 1, put the dirt above the grass, right? Anyway, that's another issue. That means there's some overdraw happening, which is not good. We should fix that in the level generator, probably. For now, why is it like this? Is it because I'm doing a bunch of shit with Vec3s? Does your camera work differently in the example you gave me? Is it maybe too late to read through this? This music is bonkers. Let me bring your code up. We can inspect and compare. Are you hard coding the Z in line 185? Hang on a moment. In render. Oh, you're looking at the level generator. No. What file is that? 185. What is this music? 185? I don't have files that are long, do I? What's that? The one you had open just now. I'm losing my mind. Asset manager? No. I'm sorry, I've lost... I appear to have lost whatever it was that you found. Anyway, 185. I'm misreading that. Make sure texture offset and texture scale are correct. Good point. 135. Oh no, it might be 135. Yeah. You mean this? Sorry. Yeah, no, it is late. Hang on, let me split these. I feel like I'm in like a vampire film. I'm losing it. You get that feeling? 105. Yes. Yes, I am. What's the significance here? I think that's okay. That's purely where the tile should live within our level data. But maybe that's incorrect, actually. You might be right on that. Yeah, that should be tile Z. You know what, actually? Maybe you've discovered why we're only seeing the grass tiles. Because we're only drawing stuff at 0. But then again, the grass is on 1. I don't fully understand that, but yeah. It's not influencing where the tile is drawn, but it is influencing which tile is drawn. So that's a really good find, actually. So maybe... Okay, no difference, but that is correct. This is weird. That's also weird. Why when I zoom out and I go up to the top right? What was that? Can't see the game. You're not missing anything. Sorry, I guess yes, your thing's covering it. This looks fucking weird, is all. Look at this shit. Why would it do this? It's kind of scary. Sorry, I'm getting mesmerized. Alright, let's look at the draw map. Here we go. Let's have a look. Make sure texture offset and texture scale are correct. Texture offset, texture scale. View size in tiles we can look at quickly. This is a Vec3. So maybe that's problematic. Oh, I was just dividing it. Is there an issue here? That's wrong. What's the issue? Hang on, this isn't a Vec3. Oh! Yeah. View size. Okay. Yeah, this is off. Being Vec3 is not important. Yeah, the Z is not used, but yeah, that's off. Now, just tile size. Can we just do a division for this? It should just construct a Vec3 in place with all 3 elements of this, right? Make them const while you're at it. Gotcha. Yo! It's drawing! Look at this shit. Check this out. Whoops. Check this out. I don't know why we're not drawing the dirt, but that's another problem. It's drawing. And look, no horizontal or vertical lines happening randomly. This is incredible. What amazing work done it. What a smarty. There do seem to be more trees than expected. Why is the dirt not rendering? Let's try and work that out just very quickly. We can hide this now. That's terrific. I'm just going to go into the level generator. You should be able to uncap the zoom scale now. Should is a strong word. I'm streaming. Fire up a render dock. A render dock? What's that? Is that like some sort of... Actually, I don't know. What is render dock? At least make the limit higher. Yeah, I can do that. I just wanted to... put the limit in so it won't crash, I guess. You also set the zoom function to be exponential, right? It's a program for debugging rendering. You can see all the GPU call. Ooh. Oh, doc as in like doctor, not like document generator. I was thinking it was like it was like a document generator. Like it just takes slices of your GPU and puts them in a PDF for you so you can look at them later. That's nice. I'm thinking it should be easier than that. I hope. Let me just think about it for a minute. When we're generating the floor, we're getting a tile dirt. And we're putting the tile at position 1. Okay, that's already... That should be at the layer 1. Right, Z1. I think. Let's double check that. Tile. Tile position. Set tile. Yeah. And then later on, as we're stepping around and we're doing all sorts, we're putting trees at 0. Let's just look at all the set tile calls. 0 for grass, 1 for dirt, 1 for dirt, 0 for tree, 0 for grass. Great, but it's a bit low level, this whole problem. This should be the sort of thing I can grab directly. Pos 1 and 1 the right way around. Should be, because the level generator runs around the X and Y, and then the Z is what we're using as layer. Music has gotten sad. Sad music. Sad programming. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, we should be putting dirt at layer 1, and layer 1 should be above layer 0. Let's have a look at the renderer. We're starting at 0. Unless the textures is wrong. Did you break randomized tile, maybe? That's possible. I can just disable that for now. I don't think so, but is it possible? It looks fine. No. What the fuck? I don't like this song. Look, I've accidentally generated the Great Britain. Actually, like, pretty close. It just doesn't have Scotland. I didn't like that. Spooky. Alright, my metal music's been changed. Okay. Yeah, I think the render is the issue. We're starting at 0. We're trying to... this is just filling up something, that's fine. We need Scotland. We desperately need Scotland. They make really nice whiskey. Very spiritual today. Oh, never mind. This is spiritual. This is like boss music spiritual. It's good music. Okay. Yeah, actually, hang on. Why does this tile Z thing not work? Englishman in address. Team of 2? Is it an issue with the map staging buffer? Surely not, right? Could it be an issue with the map staging buffer, Donut? This isn't being multiplied by the number of layers, right? You have to clear it between each layer, right? Yeah. Just put clear after... Oh, I guess I just image. Well, I can put it after the draw as well. It's not within the loop. No, it is within the loop. You need it at the start too before reserve. Alright, that didn't change shit. But good try. Maybe not, it'll be faster. I think we should. Do you think it's defaulting to 0 because a lot of these things up here? Should I maybe change some of these to being Vec 1-2s again, I think? I think that might be causing errors. I don't know which ones explicitly we might need to change, so I might need to change some of these back. Come on. 1, 2, 3. I think it's a good idea that, like, it's possible some of these things are defaulting to 0. Screen size is already a 0, so that cleans that up. And zoom scale is already a 2. That's nice. You're already a 2. That's nice. I love this kind of code cleanup. And then actually it only changes stuff down here. Well, I think in your code you were already turning this into a 3, right? Yeah, vec3 0f. Something like this. I don't know if that's actually going to fix anything. It's a nice thought, at least. Alright, didn't fix anything, but yeah, it's a nice idea. I'm gonna change the zoom quickly. Somewhere. Yeah, make it like 20. You made this exponential, right? Zoom amount. Zoom amount. Plus equals relative value. Oh, you're storing it. I'm adding it. Oh, because. This is fine for now. I just want to be able to zoom out a little bit more. You can Google plot xpx if you want to see how the curve looks. Okay, thank you. Yeah, because it really snaps at the end. Kind of cool, isn't it? This is sharp. I've noticed now that it's not actually drawing the right tree. This tree is incorrect. Whatever sprite is next to this tree is wrong. It's like the top half of some tree. Maybe those are the walls. I think it's 0, 0. It's air. That's the air sprite. Hang on. Hang on. I think that's air. Hang on a moment. I need to open this shit in... I actually do need to open a sprite. I think we might have solved the problem, chat. Does air have to be a texture of... No? Could I, If I set it to a location outside of the texture, does that also... If I make it -1, -1, does that also render nothing? Question mark. I'll just wrap. Oh. Do I have to draw? Can I just skip it? I guess that was part of the issue, right? We don't want to skip. It just feels like a waste to draw empty alpha. Is there an update to Aspro? What's this? I hope this is GSC in the right spot. I'm just editing it quickly. Did that fix it? No. You're clearing the screen to a color each draw, you can skip them for sure. Well, this is in the middle of a draw function. It should be that like the ground layer has like loads of tiles, and then the layer above might have a sprinkling of tiles and like air gaps. And I would like to skip rendering those lads. But the way that we've set up this renderer kind of assumes that we've got... Where is it? This pushback into the staging buffer kind of assumes that there's something in the tile. Skip the air tile type. Can we just... Does that not fuck with the staging buffer? Do things have to be in order? I guess we could just experiment. Yeah. I was kind of wanted to avoid doing a bunch of... the shader doesn't skip. So you can't do this anyway. If I just didn't have something in the buffer, it wouldn't just not draw it. Hang on, I have changed this. Why is this not updating? Oh, here it is, look. I made it null. There's no concept of nothing in the buffer. It could be uninitialized, but something will be there. Oh. Hey, look. Okay, that's an improvement. That's a marked improvement. It just seems to be not rendering the dirt underneath. I also thought there was more dirt than this, but maybe not. So, alpha 0? Is it set to 0? Oh, maybe I need to have, instead of nothing... Wait, hang on, how have I done this in Aseprite? It might be... Did you save it as a PNG? Yeah. Hang on, I'll show Aseprite. Here we go. This thing here might have an alpha 0. If I... What are you? No, you're... Yeah, he's alpha 0. That's alpha 0. It's a PNG. It's called gsc.png. I put a poker here, not mask. Fucking. Guess I could use the brush. This is 0. There's nothing in there. Got rid of the tree. You can change that. The default options for Shader 3D don't specify alpha blending. Oh, okay, so I can kill that. Okay. I'll be up here, I guess. The Shader 3D. This thing. Where do I add that? In here? Where do those go? What do you can take as a constructor? Shader program options, but I don't know if I'm using that anymore. Shader 3D options. Oh, one of these. Definitions? That can't be right. Shader 3D options. It takes it as a second optional parameter. Ah, okay. Yes. Alpha mode. Here we go. Yo, there's loads in here. Stencils. Front face culling mode. I don't know, what are the options for alpha mode? Alpha mode. Use alpha blending. Jarvis, render the dirt. It's bedtime. It didn't render the dirt. It's the thought that counts. It's 20 to midnight, so I think it's a good time for me to stop now. And we can continue this next time. Maybe I'll fix it off stream. Maybe we'll fix it off stream. But it's gotten too late, so we have to stop. It's been 3.5 hours. I've had a 12-hour workday today. It fixed the alpha at least. It did. For some reason, it's drawing a grass underneath, which is weird. I don't know why. Something to fix. I'll do that when I want to, I guess. 37:24. Interesting. Maybe the grass is the dirt. Checking you don't default the tiles to grass or something as a debugging step. I don't think so. It should be just using tile dirt. So tile dirt is what we're setting here. It's what we're setting here. And then later on, we're sometimes changing it to a brick. And the coordinates should be at 37 by 24, which is like here. If I set it to 37, 38, 39, that would shift it 2 to the right. We could see. We could see, but maybe I did this wrong somehow. No. Changing that didn't change what's being rendered at all. Oh, that looks awful on the big screen. It does look like grass. I think it's rendering grass. So I think these coordinates were correct. I just think it's not rendering tile dirt properly. We're setting the tile at Z1. If for some reason it's overdrawing grass, even though grass should be at 0. So grass should be drawn first. Whatever. I said it's too late. Let's stop for today. Changing the chords did not change it. So I bet it must be set somewhere in the code as grass. I mean, there's an easy way to debug this, right? We go in here, we chuck a breakpoint somewhere, and we just have a look. So, map data in tiles, map chunks. Let's look at some chunk. Z is 1. It has a bunch of stuff at 0. And the information there is 723, 723, 16.0, 16.0. Yeah, actually none of these are dirt. Pick some other one. I think you can see this, right? Yeah. Well, whatever. I keep saying it's late. Let's stop here. It's fine. This is a nice, easy bug, hopefully, to look at. We're rendering stuff. It's looking great. Terrific work. Thanks for all the help. Did you guys enjoy the stream today? Look at this. The shit rendering, and it doesn't tear or look weird, and you can scale it instantly and get a trillion FPS, and wow, what an improvement. Incredible. You enjoyed it. I'm glad. Thanks for all the help. I love procedural generation. I'm wondering if it's drawing trees instead of dirt. This looks like a lot more trees than it used to generate. You can zoom in like crazy. Anyway. Sayonara, lads. See you next time. I hope you have a nice evening. Have a good sleep. Think about what you've done. Bye-bye. Good night. See ya. Your heart's content will never be later than 1600. 384. Good night. Bye-bye. See ya.